Wednesday of the third week of Lent. More. While he was yet at a distance, his father saw him and had compassion. Luke 15, verse 20. Yesterday, we reflected on Jesus telling the parable of the prodigal son and Mary noticing those in the crowd who were deeply affected by the story. As the son is speaking to the crowd, Mary remains hidden in humility, observing the outcasts and sinners and seeing beneath their outward appearance. We can imagine that Mary sees their pain, not with judgment, but with empathy. She sees their potential for conversion and holiness. I recall a poignant moment in my own life that illustrates how a mother can see hidden potential. I had just finished my sophomore year of college. It was a splendid season in my life. I had come into my own, brimming with confidence, and had grown substantially in virtue and holiness. With the summer before me, I set off to sell books door to door in North Carolina. I sprinted into the summer with visions of grandeur and success, only to crash 3 weeks later. I was an absolute failure, and I was desperate for help. I chose to cut my losses to salvage the summer. I had just enough money to buy a bus ticket home, but I had no money for food and was too ashamed to beg. That bus ride was the longest 2 days of my life. I arrived at the Humor station starving and ashamed of my failure. My dad picked me up and brought me home, where my mother was waiting. I never forgot the look in my mom's eyes when I walked into the house. It was a piercing glance of love. I distinctly remember sensing that my mother was seeing all I could be, even though all I saw was what I wasn't. Mothers often see their child's potential long before a child himself does. That is what I experienced on that evening when I walked into the house feeling like a failure. The power of what a mother sees. What I know to be true personally is that Mary, in her purity and unrestrained motherhood, sees my potential when all I can see are my shortcomings. This is where we need the courage to be in a relationship with the Blessed Mother. It takes great courage to let someone see us in our failure, and most of us are more comfortable with our sins than with our potential. We can imagine that when Mary looked at each person in the crowd, she saw more in them than they saw in themselves. She is looking at you in the same way. Let her see you. Let her show you your potential. For your prayer. Spend an additional 15 minutes today in prayer. Reflect on the lives of Jesus and Mary through the Rosary. Aim to pray 3 decades if you can. At the end of each decade, pause for a few minutes of silence and ask Mary to look at you. Let yourself be seen. Let her show you what she sees in you. Then ask Mary to take you to her Son. Let go of any distractions and let this happen however the Spirit desires. Simply ask Mary to bring you to Jesus. What words stood out to you as you prayed? Enjoy your prayer.